everyone, welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name's Imogen. In today's video, I'm talking about how to use negative situations to your advantage. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that, give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. Okay, so we all encounter negative situations in our lives. This might be, like a breakup, or you've lost a friend, or you've got some kind of I don't know, difficulty in your personal life. I don't know, what kind of bad situations are you guys encountering? I've been through many, but the point is, nobody likes them, obviously, because they're negative. But there are several ways that you can make sure that you come out of it in you see the silver lining, okay? And you turn it into something positive for yourself, and you don't feel like it's time wasted. I think sometimes when we're in these situations, it could be in your professional life, it could be in your personal life, it could be in, an academic setting. You often think, oh, that was a waste of time and I had a terrible time, and this is just kind of why did I have to go through that, okay? So next time you're in a negative situation, you might want to apply the following, okay? If you're not really subscribed, did I say this? If you're not really subscribed, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and yeah, subscribe, obviously. Let's get started. So, the first way that you can use negative situations to your advantage, and this one seems obvious, but I'm mentioning it straight off, is to learn from them, okay? So, this isn't always the case, and sometimes negative situations just suck, okay? There are people who believe that everything happens for a reason. I have been through enough to learn that not everything does happen for a reason, and although you might make something positive come out of the situation, it's not necessarily meaningful to say that it happened for a reason, okay? So I understand that, and if you think that everything happens for a reason, then honestly, if it works for you, I support it. I don't personally believe that, but I think in some negative situations, you can learn from them. There is something to be learned, and it's not all the time, but sometimes you can be like, oh, this happened because I made a mistake, so what do we learn from this, and how can I improve my processes next time to ensure that something doesn't happen, okay? This is a really trivial example of this, actually. I was filming the video just before this, and at the end, my tripod, fell over, and I had to, get up and readjust it, okay? So there's really, really small thing, but you can apply that to any situation. Right, number 2. Use them as an opportunity, okay? And what do I mean when I say an opportunity? Okay, when you're in a negative situation, it's often a very chaotic situation, and chaos is something that nobody likes, but you can learn to like chaos, okay? Because chaos is often a sign of disruption, and disruption can bring opportunity. So if you can learn to see the opportunities in a negative situation, then you should. So an example from my personal life is in the summer of 2023, I went through an estrangement, and it was a very difficult situation, but it was a big opportunity, and I actually kind of seized that with both hands, and I thought, you know what, this is a negative situation, but I'm actually bringing something really positive out of it, and my mental health has been so much better since then. So even though it was kind of a negative situation, it was kind of cathartic, and sometimes it has to get worse before it gets better. You have to go through the tunnel to see the light at the end of the tunnel, whatever. Anyway, so use negative situations as an opportunity and think, what can I learn from this? Okay, what can I do to bring something positive out of this? Are there any opportunities that are generated by the scenario that I can make use of? Right, tip number 3, okay. Use these situations to show you what you don't want. Now, I often talk on this channel a lot about, dream scenarios and positive role models, and those are both extremely important, but one thing that is good about negative situations is that you can use them to show you what you don't want. And now, there's so many ways that this can be applied. This can literally be applied in any sphere of life, okay? So when you're in a negative situation, and maybe somebody's being mean to you, or, just a situation that you don't want to be in, you can use that as a sort of almost an opposite, like a photo negative almost of what you want of what you want to avoid, okay? So when you're in this negative situation, you can learn from that in terms of saying, okay, I absolutely don't want to do this, and I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do this. If I could have a positive scenario, it would be the exact opposite of these things, and you can use that to define for yourself very strongly, often in some ways, what you actually want out of life. And I found this to be actually really helpful, and a way that I often feel that negative situations aren't wasted on me, because I find that when I use them to learn and to say, okay, I definitely don't want this, therefore I do want this, then I find that it's not a wasted opportunity, okay? So use them to show what you don't want. Right, number 4. This is again kind of a contrast point. Now, I talked in the last point about looking at the contrast between what you don't want and what you do want. Now, this next contrast point is about cultivating gratitude for the good moments. Now, I have been through some quite difficult situations in my life, and something that I've really noticed is that now I have so much more gratitude for the good moments, even the really small mundane moments. Okay, so like at the weekend I woke up and there was a bird singing outside my window, and that was a really small thing, but I was just like, that is absolutely beautiful, okay? And I felt so much appreciation for that, and it was just a really wholesome, good moment. And like earlier, I had a coffee in my favourite mug, and again, a really small moment, but I was just like, I'm so grateful for that, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to, own this mug and make use of it. And again, something so tiny, but I genuinely got a lot of joy out of that moment, okay? So cultivate gratitude for the good moments, and you can remember the bad moments and remember how bad those were, and let that kind of contrast improve the joy of the good moments. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts on that one, because that's something that I've noticed a huge amount, like in my own life. Like, I've been through some really negative situations and I have a lot of negative memories, but those things, by virtue of contrast, make the good moments better. And I am actually very grateful for that. And I think that is a gift that is kind of only given to you if you've been through a lot of negative situations. So yeah, it's not wasted. It is not wasted. And finally, this is an important point, and again, I would never wish for someone to go through a negative situation that, makes you unhappy or gives you trauma, but it gives you a hell of a lot of resilience, okay? When you've been through a lot of negative situations, then this is gonna sound bad to say, but you kind of get desensitized to it a little bit. And obviously, nobody should have to be in that situation. But one of the things that I've been told is that I'm very good in a crisis, because I've kind of seen it all and it doesn't faze me. So, I tend to be very calm in crisis type situations and in general. Now, there are some things that will freak me out, but negative situations build resilience, and I am absolutely not saying that you should go and seek out negative situations or seek out trauma or self-sabotage yourself to make your life worse so you can build resilience. But if the universe has dropped a negative situation on you, you are more likely to come out of it more resilient. And obviously, I'm not trying to undermine trauma. Now, sometimes I'm not saying what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Absolutely not. Sometimes it can leave you with anxiety and it can make you weaker, and I have absolutely experienced all of those things. But it can also lead to resilience. So it's kind of two sides of the same coin. And again, not applicable to every situation, but it is something that I find helps me get through bad situations more often. I'm like, you know what? At least, I have to go through this bad thing because it's just something that's happened to me. But at least, if it happens again, I'll know what to do, and I'll be like, I've seen this before, this doesn't scare me now. So yeah, that's how to use negative situations to your advantage. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and again, I hope you never have to use any of the tips in this video, but not everyone is so lucky. So yeah, if you were also unlucky, then I'm very sorry, but I hope these helped. And yeah, follow me on Instagram, subscribe if you're not already. I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.